Have you ever wondered why polygamy still sparks heated debates, emotional fascination, and spiritual confusion, even in 2025? Or questioned whether love shared among many hearts truly multiplies or divides the soul's peace? Welcome back to the channel. You've just entered a space where we don't shy away from complexity, where ancient wisdom meets modern reality, and where your questions about love, energy, and karma finally get explored with the depth they deserve. Today's journey takes us into one of the most complex, controversial, and spiritually misunderstood relationship dynamics, polygamy, but with a twist. This isn't a critique of personal choices. It's not a moral essay. Instead, we'll be asking what happens to karma in a polygamous union, what energetic consequences ripple through the hearts, the minds, and even generations born of such structures, and ultimately, can karmic debts in love be dissolved, or do they simply vanish without resolution? Let's breathe into this with curiosity, not judgment, because the karmic laws that govern our inner and outer worlds operate far beyond any cultural rules. They whisper through our intentions, our attachments, our silences, and our truths. To begin, let's clarify our landscape. Polygamy, in its simplest form, is the practice of having more than one spouse at the same time. Typically, this refers to polygamy, one man, multiple wives, or polyandry, one woman, multiple husbands, though the former is far more common historically. On the other hand, polygamy refers to having multiple romantic or intimate partners with the knowledge and consent of all involved. It's more rooted in modern relational freedom and tends to emphasize emotional honesty and mutual respect. Though often lumped together, the two operate in fundamentally different energetic contexts. One often emerges from traditional hierarchical systems, the other from evolving social experiments in connection. But in both cases, we must ask what happens on the unseen level. Let's zoom into the heart of the matter. The energetic web of multiple bonds. Imagine each intimate relationship as a luminous thread of energy connecting two people, with every shared moment, a joyful or painful. That thread thickens, vibrates with mutual memories, unspoken emotions, subtle power dynamics, and karmic contracts forged through touch, trust, or betrayal. Now, picture a person at the center of 5 such threads. Each thread leads to a heart, a story, a soul with its own karma, its own lineage, and all these threads begin to interact, not just with the central person, but with each other. This is the hidden architecture of polygamy, a web, not a wheel. In this structure, emotions do not stay isolated. When one thread becomes strained, perhaps through jealousy, neglect, or unmet need, it sends shockwaves across the web. Tension grows not in one heart, but in the collective field. And unlike monogamy, where two people can work on repair in a direct loop, polygamous setups require multi-dimensional emotional awareness. Spiritually speaking, every bond is a contract, and every contract must be honored, dissolved, or transcended. In a polygamous web, the number of contracts multiplies, and so does the risk of energetic leakage, where one person's unprocessed trauma seeps into the dynamic of another. At the same time, there's also greater potential for healing. If each participant cultivates awareness, self-responsibility, and compassion, the web can act as an amplifier for growth, maturity, and liberation. But this requires a very high frequency of consciousness. Without it, the system becomes karmically heavy, quick. Karma's unseen ledger in pluralite. What is karma truly? Forget punishment, forget reward. Karma is echo. It is the return of energy we put out, accompanied, delayed, disguised, but always aligned with our intent. In polygamous relationships, karma begins not only with personal actions, but with how the structure is initiated. Was it built on honesty or secrecy, on respect or control? Were all parties emotionally mature or coursed through dependence or spiritual manipulation? Every yes, no, and silence writes a line in karma's invisible ledger. And here's where it gets delicate. One of the most common karmic patterns in polygamous settings is imbalance giving and receiving. Some partners give more emotionally, others withdraw. Some receive affection freely, while others feel like spiritual beggars waiting for crumbs. These imbalances generate resentment, silent but thick, and resentment is one of karma's fastest multiplying energies. Unfulfilled promises are another danger. When a partner says, "You are my heart," but lives divided in attention or presence, the soul registers the contradiction, not as sin, but as fragmentation. The result: emotional confusion, karmic tension, sometimes even physical illness. And we must speak of generational karma. Children born into polygamous systems inherit not just family names, but energetic imprints. They often carry the weight of comparison, emotional scarcity, or roles they didn't ask for, mediators, rivals, invisibles. Without conscious healing, these children may replicate similar karmic loops in their own relationships. But this is not fate, it's invitation. To see clearly, to choose differently, to live off, navigating the karmic complexities. So, is it possible to navigate polygamous relationships without accumulating karmic debt? Yes, but only with radical spiritual clarity. First, it begins with conscious communication. This means not only honesty in words, but also transparency in motives. Why do you want multiple partners? Is it about expansion of love or fear of commitment? Or are you seeking connection or escaping intimacy? Every motive seeds karma. Empathy is the second key. In plural love, you don't just have one emotional universe to consider, you must hold space for many. This requires deep listening, energetic attunement, and the willingness to confront your own shadows again and again. Personal responsibility is the anchor. Blame breaks bonds, ownership heals. If jealousy arises, ask not who caused it, but what belief within you is being challenged. Forgiveness becomes essential, not as a performance, but as purification. You must forgive your past selves, your unmet expectations, the imperfections of others. You must let go of ownership over anyone's evolution. In karmic terms, this is liberation work. And when it's time to release, do so fully. Half goodbyes trap karma. Loving detachment dissolves it. The future of love and karma. You're living in a time when relationship structures are evolving rapidly. Monogamy, polygamy, all are being re-examined under the light of consciousness. What does this mean for karma? Means we're moving from rigid forms to fluid responsibility. In the future, it won't be the shape of your relationship that matters karmic, it will be the integrity with which you live it. One can create as much karmic damage in a traditional marriage as in a chaotic polyamorous one. and vice versa, one can generate deep soul liberation within an unusual structure, rooted in awareness, love, and respect. But the individual journey remains. You can't bypass karma by changing partners or escaping structures. Every energetic imprint must be faced, felt, and eventually released through wisdom. So the final question is not, is polygamy right or wrong? Are you relating from ego or essence, from fear or freedom, from compulsion or clarity? Because in the end, love is a mirror. And every relationship, no matter its form, is an invitation to remember who you are, heal what you carry, and grow into what you're meant to become. So whether your path is singular or shared, straight or spiraled, may you walk it with intention. May your karma be not a burden, but a map. May your love be not possession, but presence. May every heart you touch be better for having known you. If this message stirred something in you, let's continue the conversation. Share your insights in the comments. Have you experienced karmic patterns in your relationships? How have you healed them? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone exploring love beyond limits. Because relationships may change, but the soul's longing for truth never does. Thank you for watching.
Before you leave, here's something special. In Buddhism, we believe that every encounter carries a deeper meaning. Would you like to discover your true soul connection, the one written into your destiny? Take the Soulmate Test today and unveil the hidden truths of your journey. Click the link below and begin your path now.
http://soulmate. You wisdom more, come, white.